right, John.
Hey, Mike.
So we're going to show people today the basics of Modo.
Mm-hmm.
So over here in the Basic tab, you have a lot of very basic tools right here. And then, of course, these little tabs are more complicated tools. So I'm just going to start in the top left-hand corner. If you shift-click, you can get a cube in the scene. Now,
That's the 1 meter cube, yeah?
it is the 1 meter cube. If I hit delete, the cube goes away. If I shift-click, I get a ball. Okay. If I hit delete, it goes away. Oh, I didn't shift-click, John. I didn't shift-click.
Okay.
Boom. Cylinder. Shift-clicked. Okay. Now, if I don't...
So before you shift click too many more things, I think you should show our viewers what's happening in the tree, the item tree.
Right. The list tree or the item tree over here?
The item tree
I have
that
a
you're
bunch
just
of
pointing
stuff
at
open
now.
because crazy
You
people
do.
do that. So cylinder will show up here. Yeah, you're right. That was a good idea. We should show them that. Boom. Cone shows up in the tree. Let's just, we can delete here too by right-clicking. Delete. Boom. Okay. Shift-click. And we've got our... what is that, John? What would you call that? It's like a tube.
I would call it a donut, but I'm food obsessed.
Right.
So you can call it a torus.
So here we have... This is...
A blobby thing.
Yeah, it's called Solid Sketch. And you can adjust it. And one thing you don't yet know about Modo is if you hit the Q key, boom, all your editing ability goes away. So now I can't move or edit it. Another thing you don't know yet, and maybe I don't know, is if I click on this cube and I don't shift click, and I'll show you how to use this menu soon. It's just a control in space bar. You can draw out these shapes like this. I have my left mouse button clicked right now. As soon as I let go, it's going to go into this mode where you can do some adjusting. But as soon as I hit the Q key, Q for quit, it's going to drop the tool and boom, we have this polygon that we now have to work with. There we go.
Now, I know you like to do that, Michael.
I do.
That's how you roll.
Yeah.
But I like to be a bit more precise. So would you be so kind as to show how to make a cube, which is, say, 3 meters by 3 meters?
A cube which is 3 meters by 3 meters.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you guide me through it, John?
Okay, so if you click on the cube tool.
Okay.
And just draw something out, anything you like.
Okay.
Okay, now in the properties, you can set the position to 0, 0, 0, because that's where I do everything.
Right. We'd like everything in 0, 0, 0, so we know it's in the center, right? And,
And then size, you can type just 3M,
right,
3M,
right,
3M, or of course, as you know, if you clicked the equals key by one of the size parameters, it would do it all at the same time.
Right. I can demonstrate that. So I'm going to hit Q,
so,
drop the tool. So there we have a 3 meter by 3 meter cube. So if I go back to cube again, and let's say this was on 200 millimeters, for example, and I put my cube in here like this, right? Oh wait, they're all different. This is perfect. So I hit equal right here, this little guy, and I go. You said 3 meters, you like, right? 3 meters. I hit enter. Boom. 3 meter cube. Yeah. Wonderful.
There you go.
Okay. So I think we've covered that mostly. You can do the same thing with the sphere. Same thing with the cylinder, cone, torus, solid sketch, and we'll get to the curve and the text tool soon. Now, if you right-click, if there's a little arrow here, a little tiny black arrow, I don't know if you can see it on the screen, and you
Yeah, just
right-click,
about.
you get different options like this, an ellipse, okay, capsule, arc. So each one, this one doesn't have an arrow. So there are drop downs. Now the tube tool is good for like chords, for like if you're doing a lamp or something like that. Let's just show them how the tube tool works. So I'm just clicking, left clicking, left clicking, left clicking, and I'm drawing this tube out. And as long as I don't hit Q, wow, I can move this stuff. Forward. There we go. Around, up and down.
I think this is violating my position ethics.
Your position ethics.
My precision ethics is very uncomfortable for a man who likes exact things.
Okay, well.
It's okay, man. I'll withstand the trauma.
As uncomfortable as you are, John, we must move forward, sir.
We must. We must.
Right. So here we have your line tool. Now I left-clicked. If I right-click, there's different. There's the pen tool, curve tool, B-spline, Bezier, sketch, and patch curves. All right, so let's go through these.
No precision.
Pen.
Get the precision.
I'm just left-clicking, and the pen will draw out polygons. Yay! Just like this. As long as I keep left-clicking, it will
Stop making n-guns, man.
draw. Yeah. Do they know what n-guns are? This is the curve tool. So if I draw this curve tool, if I draw it with the curve tool, it's not really useful to you at all unless you know about a different tool. In this duplicate tab, radial sweep. Click on that. Click here. Whoops, those are inside out. And what do we know about that?
Need to reverse, man.
You need to reverse the polygons. And that's how you make a shape. But we'll get more to that later. Let's go back to the basic tab. Bezier. Click, 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 click. Now the difference here is, whoop, I hit quit. Do it again.
Don't do that.
John, I think you've been drinking.
You might think that you want to hit the quit button.
So this Bezier curve has handles.
Don't do that.
Gives you a bit more control over the smoothness of not the entire universe, but just this little area. Right? That's your Bezier. And then you would go and, you know, there are other uses for curves that we'll get to later. This is sketch. I think you'll like this because you just left click and keep going, and you can make a sketch of a curve. As soon as you drop it, as soon as you hit quit, what you wind up with is a curve.
Radial, that one, man.
Huh?
Radial. Do a radial.
Do a radial. I don't think we're going to get anything good on that, John, but
you never know.
After the duplicate tab, we'll do a radial sweep for John. Oh, wow, we got something. Very imprecise, but...
It's a loaf of bread.
Okay. Back. Text tool. Okay. Click. Left click once. And text, I can say, hi, John, how is the... Because John lives in England. How is... I can't spell. I keep hitting A.
You could just ask me.
The weather.
I'm here. I can hear you.
I hit enter, and I'm going to get this howa.
He is Italian.
John, what happened to how is the weather? Why'd you put an A in there?
How is the weather?
Let's see. I think this is still editable. Boom.
It is.
Go. There we go. So now we have this.
The weather is as it always is in England. The weather is so bad that I need to drink.
Now, shift. If you're out here, shift A. If you're out here, shift A. If you're out here, shift A. Shift A will bring you into your model.
It'll frame your selected selection.
Yep, it'll frame your selected selection if you want to be.
Or if you have nothing selected, it will frame it anyway.
Well, we can go edit, center selected, all, boom, and it will center your selection. I want to pull it up above ground level. I can do that. Hi, John. How is the weather? Awesome, huh?
We do like to